It isn't even cold here in Florida. I just needed something classy to wear. Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my weekly roundup and whether you should pick this perfume or that perfume. So I do have 4 perfumes here, and if you want to get right into the review, go ahead and go to this timestamp right here, because I am going to go over this series in a little bit more detail. Since my collection is growing, I want to start doing more house reviews or reviews like the one I am doing today. So I've been noticing, not only in my comment section, but in other people's comment section, people asking about the new Libre Intense, as well as how they compare to Mon Guerlain. So I did want to do a video on all 4. I have Libre Intense, I have Mon Guerlain, and Mon Guerlain the Perfume, because they're very similar but different at the same time. So I kind of wanted to do a this or that series where I not only go over my thoughts on the perfume, but also which perfume is right for you. And that is when I'm going to step out and be a little bit more objective. What might work out for me might not work out for you, and vice versa. That is why I kind of want to take myself out. So I got this idea from the beauty side of the community, where they do kind of like this or that foundation or this or that like skincare, where they dupe popular either makeup or skincare. Now, I didn't see anyone do this until I did a search, and then I did see that Gabby from Gabby Loves Perfume did actually do a video. She did a video on this or that on popular perfumes in the perfume community, but I did want to mention her because I always like to do a search just to see how many videos are out there, and she was the only one I saw that did a video similar to this one, and it is called This or That, but there is no other way to name it. I called my sister and I'm like, I need another name for this or that, but I thought it was funny that she tried. She put hit or miss, the former or the latter, tit or tat, left or right, think 1 or think 2, left door, right door, and it just got a little ridiculous. So frick or frat, I mean, there is no other way to say this or that. So let's go ahead and get into the review. So I want to go over these 2 first, only because they're the 2 newer releases and people are asking if they compare to Mon Guerlain, and then I will go over Mon Guerlain. First, we are going to go over the original. This one was released first in 2019, and this is Oriental Fougere fragrance for women, and it was released again in 2019, and it was created by Anne Filippo and Carlos Benaim. And I don't know if I'm saying that right, but the nose behind the original is also the nose behind the Intense, and the Intense was released 1 year later in 2020. And then this perfume is described as white floral, citrus, lavender, vanilla, aromatic, sweet, animalic, fruity, woody, and powdery. Whenever something's fruity, I think of like fruits. For me, this isn't fruits. This is citrus. The fruit that you're going to get in this perfume predominantly is going to be more of a citrus, and it's going to be very much in the opening. When I first smelled this perfume, this one was not a love at first sniff, and neither was Mon Guerlain. So this, for me, it was the citrus opening. It's very, very sharp. I think the citrus with the lavender made this very sharp in the opening, and then this, as it dries down, got more rich for me and musky. And this does have like a masculine edge to it. I know that when I first did my first impressions, someone had asked me in the comments if I thought it was masculine, and I hadn't gotten that yet just because it was my first impressions. And then in my next review, I did say that this did have a masculine edge, and I do believe that that is from the lavender and the musk. More so the lavender. The lavender is very strong in this one, and I think what makes this even stronger is the citrus. I do not pull the vanilla in this one like other people do, because my body chemistry, whenever a perfume has predominant citrus notes in it, that is what my skin tends to pull. So this turns into a very luxe, very beautiful white floral scent with lavender, and there's a muskiness to it and like a woody dry down. I've mentioned that this is very bougie to me. It reminds me of expensive mall here in Florida, and it is more edgy in my opinion, and it is a little bit more unique for that reason. Okay, and then next we have YSL Libre, and this is the Intense version. And For me, this isn't intense. This one is definitely stronger. What's more intense in here is the vanilla, and I feel like as this sits, kind of like with my Mon Guerlain, the vanilla is going to get stronger. So this is YSL's Libre minus the sharp citrus in the opening. There's still citrus in the opening, but the vanilla in here definitely rounds this scent out. The vanilla in here though is not cloying. It's one that you can wear year round. I think this one definitely is more intense in my opinion. This one projects a little bit more. This one's to me a little bit more cozy, but still a stunning fragrance. But I feel like the vanilla rounds this scent out, making it more warm and smooth. I wouldn't say that this one is deeper. I wouldn't say this one's thicker. This is very much a beautiful vanilla version, a more likable version of this one, but this one's still my favorite. I really enjoy the original. You do not need both, but I like both. I think this is a beautiful Florida fall scent. It creates fall without it getting cloying, which is why I enjoy this. It's cozy, it's warm, it's sweet, and it has the YSL DNA. And this one's fresh, which I think is beautiful for spring and summer. I love this perfume and I will wear it year round. So I like that I could kind of create fall with this one and it won't get cloying. So this is going to be your more likable version. And this one is described as vanilla, aromatic, amber, sweet, lavender, citrus, white floral, animalic, fresh, spicy, and powdery. So I did do the notes where I can compare them. The top notes for Libre and Libre Intense are pretty similar, but the original has black currant and petitgrain, and it does not have that bergamot that the Intense version has. But to me, Libre Intense opens up with the vanilla. Even though the vanilla is in the base, I get it from the beginning and then throughout the whole entire scent. And the middle notes are pretty much the same. The only difference is that in Libre Intense, there is an added orchid note. And then in the base notes, they removed the musk in the new Intense version, and they removed the cedar, and they added vetiver and tonka bean. I do get the sweetness in this. It isn't overly sweet. I do feel like with time, this will get sweeter like some of my other vanilla perfumes. So I am looking forward to smelling this a year from now. I would definitely say this is the safer one of the two. This one's going to be more crowd pleasing. More people are going to like this because it's basically Libre, but more smooth and rounded and sweet, which is more crowd pleasing. This one is just a little bit more, and I don't want to say masculine. This to me is just has a masculine edge to it. This doesn't come off unisex to me. This still smells feminine to me. It's just a boss lady scent in my opinion. So this is more boss lady and this is more office appropriate. You wear this, you're a boss. You wear this, you're below the boss is what I say. I enjoy both of these. I really do. But that's how I see it. This is boss lady. This is me. And I'm not dissing anyone. This is me now. I'm not a boss. But when I want to feel like a boss, I'll pop this one on. Now, longevity. Both of these perfumes perform very well. So I got a good 8 hours out of both of these scents. This one lasts a little bit longer. This one can pass that 8 hour mark, but both of these have really great longevity. This one has better projection. This is another one that I have gotten compliments from wearing, and this one I feel like it projects for the first hour and then it sits a little bit closer to the skin. It's more in your bubble. This one projects longer. More people are going to notice it. I would say this one also leaves a little bit better of a sillage. This one does, but this one again, because it's a little bit more loud, I feel like this one leaves a little bit more of a sillage. I haven't been out enough to know if this one will garner me compliments, but this one has. Now, I did see a lot of people say that these smell identical. I don't agree with that, because if they did, then the people who didn't like this wouldn't like this. So there is a difference, but this does have the Libre DNA. This does. I don't want to also say that they dry down similar, because I played with these again for the last 8 days. I've been playing with these perfumes, and this one just is more sharp and citrus to me, and this one's more sweet. All right, now does it smell like these? No. These do not smell anything like those, but the notes are very similar. I'm going to go ahead and just pop in a comparison right here. The top notes on all of them, they open up with lavender and like a citrus. But I really think that it's the base that keeps these perfumes from smelling similar. Why I feel like YSL's Libre has a little bit of that masculine edge is because you have the lavender at the top and in the mid, whereas Mon Guerlain, you have it at the top. So this has a freshness to it without being overly masculine. It's just very kind of like that soothing lavender. It's almost in the background. The EDT, I would say, is definitely more of your softer citrus. It's not like a offensive citrus. Mon Guerlain is basically a more feminine, more classy version. They don't smell anything to me alike. You're not going to say that these fall in the same family, in my opinion. They're not going to be anything that I would want to declutter, you know, these because I have these. These scents are different. Now, these smell similar to one another and these smell similar to one another. So you don't need both of these or both of these. I'm a collector, I'm a fragrance reviewer, so I'm very happy to have all four in my collection. But you could have these and have these. This to me is more feminine, very classy, whereas this is more, to me, more edgy, a little bit more modern. These are definitely more modern scents, in my opinion. The EDPs, I got this one first. This was not love at first sniff for me. When I was deciding if I was going to keep it, every time I'd wear it, Dennis would ask me what I was wearing. He said he liked this because it was a very feminine scent. I do tend to own a lot of scents that have like a little bit of a unisex masculine vibe to it. So he said he really liked it because it was girly. So that is why he really liked it. So I would wear it more for him. And then the longer I had it, the sweeter it got. The vanilla started settling and this got sweeter, and now I absolutely adore this scent. I started to really enjoy this one so much that I went ahead and picked up the Eau de Toilette just because I heard that this was a more year-round fresh version of this. Not that this was not year-round, because again, all of these to me you can wear year-round. They're not offensive. I would say YSL, the original, is probably the loudest out of the four of them. So I did wear all four of these all week long, and these are all signature worthy perfumes. This one's just a sweeter, more feminine, powdery scent, and this one leans more on the fresh side. So Mon Guerlain, the Eau de Parfum, this one opens up with a top note of lavender, bergamot, middle notes of iris, jasmine, sambac, and rose, and then the base notes are Tahitian vanilla, coumarin, Australian sandalwood, benzoin, licorice, and patchouli. I do not get a lot of the base notes. I don't get the benzoin, I don't get the licorice, and I don't get the patchouli on this. I don't really get the rose either. I pick up the jasmine and the iris. And I do pick up the slightest citrus in the opening. But what I get more is the sweet and the lavender. This has a very beautiful soft lavender. It's not as strong as it is in Libre, and it's got a sweetness to it. So this is very beautifully blended. I don't pick up the licorice like I do in some of my other perfumes. This is warm spicy, whereas to me this one is more fresh spicy. So this one is described as citrus, vanilla, lavender, powdery, white floral, sweet, caramel, aromatic, and fresh spicy. So this has top notes of lavender, mandarin orange, bergamot, middle notes of jasmine, sambac, orange blossom, ylang-ylang, and then base notes of Tahitian vanilla, caramel, orsis, violet, and benzoin. And again, this is another one that's very beautifully blended. I don't get the caramel in here. There is a slight sweetness, but to me, this is Mon Guerlain, the Eau de Parfum, but not as sweet and more citrus. Again, when something is more of a citrus scent, I pick up the citrus. So this is a fresher version of the Eau de Parfum, and one that I'm happy to have in my collection. Again, do you need both? No, I think both of these smell very similar, that you don't need both. But if you want a more fresh version, then that is where you'll go for the Eau de Toilette. I did hear that this one is being discontinued. And then if you want more of a sweet, but not cloyingly sweet, then the Eau de Parfum. Very beautiful vanilla lavender scent. these are two very calming, feminine signature scents. These are going to be a little bit more on your bougie side. So these, like the bottle, describe the scents. Which perfume is right for you? I would say if you do not like a masculine edge to your perfume, you might want to stay away from these. Even though this one is smoother, it's still a little bit loud, in my opinion. This is going to be a little bit more on the edgier side. This one is going to be the likable of the two. Even though this one people say is not as masculine as this one, I still don't find this to be overly feminine. These two are very feminine. These are more of like the feminine, softer side of lavender, in my opinion. That is who this is going to be right for. So when ranking these, initially I had first, second, third, which is this is the Eau de Parfum, and then the Eau de Toilette last. But if I got to only pick two, my ranking would be the original. This is my favorite, followed by this one because it's different. These are not similar in any way. And then I would go with this one, and then the Eau de Toilette and last. But I would repurchase all of these. Again, they're all beautiful, and I am one that if the flanker is different enough, I do tend to pick up the flankers of perfumes that I love. So I hope that kind of helped a little bit. I feel like this video was a little all over the place. Hopefully as I keep going with them, they'll get better. Hopefully you guys can make the decision on which one is right for you. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys own any of these? Do you like them? Maybe they didn't work out for you. But yeah, let's meet in the comments below. But that will do it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you like me and haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. Click the notification bell so you know when I upload. And until next time, guys.